The ocean had always been a place of mystery. People explored the skies, crossed mountains, and even walked on the moon, but the deepest parts of the sea remained almost unknown. It was said that more secrets were hidden in the dark ocean trenches than in the stars above. One stormy evening, those words proved true. Far out in the Pacific Ocean, a research ship named Aurora Deep floated over a region known as the Silent Trench. The water here was darker than night and deeper than any place humans had dared to explore. The ship's crew of scientists had come to study strange signals detected from the trench, signals that repeated in perfect patterns, as if someone or something intelligent was calling from the depths. The lead scientist of the mission was Dr. Liam Carter, a calm and observant man who preferred to watch and think before speaking. He believed the ocean still hid wonders that could change the world. With him were Mira, a marine biologist with a sharp mind, and Jonas, an engineer who trusted machines more than humans. The evening was quiet, except for the low hum of the ship's engines. The team gathered in the control room. Screens glowed with blue sonar maps and shifting wave patterns. Something massive was down there, something shaped too perfectly to be rock. Mira leaned closer to the sonar screen. "Look at that curve," she whispered. "No natural formation is that smooth." Jonas tapped the side of the console. "Maybe the scanner is glitching again." "It's not a glitch," Liam said softly. His eyes did not move from the deep outline on the screen. The object was huge, long, and shaped like a crescent. "We've scanned it 5 times. Whatever it is, it's real." The room filled with silent excitement and fear. They lowered their exploration drone named Echo 7 into the water. The drone had strong lights, cameras, and arms to collect samples. As it descended, the water turned darker and colder. The sunlight disappeared completely. Only the drone's lights cut through the endless black. Minutes passed. "Depth 6,000 meters. Jonas announced. 7,000. 8,000. The drone's lights finally revealed something below. A surface covered in black metal. The shape stretched so far that even the cameras could not capture the full size. Mira gasped. That's a ship, not a submarine. Not any human design, a spaceship." It rested quietly like a sleeping giant, untouched by time. The metal hull had symbols carved across it, smooth, glowing lines that looked like rivers of faint blue light. The ship was ancient but still alive, as if waiting for someone. Liam's voice was almost a whisper. "We are not the first. Someone reached Earth long before us." Jonas swallowed hard. "If this news goes out, governments will fight for it. Countries will want to control it. This could start wars." Liam nodded. "That is why we must be careful. If this ship holds knowledge or power, humanity must not destroy itself over it." The decision was made. They would explore, record everything, and reveal the truth only when they understood what they discovered. The drone found an entrance, an open doorway leading into a tunnel. The inside glowed softly on its own, no wires, no rust, no decay. The technology was beyond anything humans had built. Mira stared at the live feed. "This ship is not dead. It's sleeping." As Echo 7 moved inside, something strange happened. The lights inside the ship brightened as if responding to a guest. The walls were smooth, like grown metal rather than built metal. Then the drone stopped. "Signal interference," Jonas said. "Something is blocking the connection." The screen flickered, static, then black. The entire control room froze. "Bring it back." Mira shouted, "I'm trying. Connection lost." Jonas slammed the console in frustration. The ship below the ocean had noticed them. Liam stood still, thoughts racing. "What if it's not hostile?" he asked. "What if it has been waiting for someone to find it?" Mira looked at him. "Or what if we just woke something dangerous?" The crew of Aurora Deep did not sleep that night. Messages were sent to their research headquarters, encrypted and hidden. They requested backup equipment, not military but scientific. But the ocean had its own plans. Just before dawn, the water around the ship began to glow faintly. Not from sunlight, there was none. The glow came from beneath them, deep in the trench. Jonas ran to the rails and leaned over. "It's reacting again. Something is happening below." The calm water began to ripple, forming slow spirals. The sonar started to beep rapidly. Something was rising from the trench, not the entire ship, but a sphere, metallic and smooth, rising through the water like a bubble of light. It stopped just below the Aurora Deep, floating silently. Mira stared, speechless. It's communicating. It knows we're here. Liam felt both wonder and fear. This changes everything. Not just science. Not just history. Human understanding of life itself. The sphere opened slowly like a flower. Inside was a floating crystal pulsing like a heartbeat. The message was clear. They were not alone. Not now. Not ever. Humanity had just stepped into a larger universe, and the universe had finally turned to look back. The floating sphere remained still beneath the ship, glowing softly like a silent star under the waves. No one on the Aurora Deep spoke. The air felt heavy, as if the world was holding its breath. Dr. Liam stepped closer to the rail, watching the strange object with controlled curiosity. The glow pulsed slowly, calm and rhythmic like breathing. It did not feel aggressive, it felt aware, Jonas whispered. What if it's scanning us? Mira shook her head. Or greeting us. Liam glanced back at both of them. We need to stay calm. This is first contact, and how we respond may shape everything that comes next. The crew lowered a small underwater camera to get a closer view. The camera feed appeared on the screen inside the control room. The sphere was perfectly smooth. No seams, no screws, no marks from tools. Almost like it had grown into shape. The crystal floating inside was held in the center by invisible force, not touching anything. Mira's voice trembled, but she forced herself to sound professional. This is technology far more advanced than anything humans have built. No wires, no fuel tanks, no engines visible. Jonas crossed his arms, which means we have no idea what it can do. Liam nodded slowly. We need to send a signal back. Something simple. Something peaceful. What kind? Mira asked. Liam thought for a moment. A repeating pattern. Something that shows intelligence without threat. Jonas typed into the console and activated the ship's sonar transmitter. 3 long pulses. Pause. 3 short pulses. Pause. Then repeated. The sphere responded. Its glow brightened, then dimmed in the exact same rhythm. It understood. Mira covered her mouth. It's copying us. No, Liam said softly. It's answering us. They tried a second sequence. The sphere replied again. No aggression. Just communication. But the moment of awe did not last. A loud alarm suddenly sounded across the ship. Incoming transmission. Not from the alien ship. Not from the sphere. From headquarters, Jonas opened the message. His face went pale. What is it? Mira asked. He swallowed hard. Satellite scans detected our sonar signals. Someone else noticed. A naval fleet is being sent. They think we found something valuable. Liam closed his eyes. He knew this was coming. The moment discovery leaves the deep and enters human politics, truth becomes a weapon. How long until they arrive? Liam asked quietly. Jonas checked. Less than 12 hours. Mira looked out at the calm sea. The sky was golden with morning light. It didn't match the tension humming beneath it. They'll want to control it, she whispered. Study it in secret. Hide it from the world, Liam nodded. We cannot allow that. This discovery belongs to all humanity, not to one government, not to one army. Before they could speak further, the sphere in the water began to move again. Slowly, silently, it drifted upward until it rose above the ocean's surface. Water slid from its metallic surface like it was repelled by an invisible barrier. The sphere hovered in the air, weightless. Everyone on deck froze. The sphere turned so that the open side with the crystal faced the humans. The crystal pulsed once, brighter than before. A sound filled their minds, not a voice. Not words, a feeling, images, stars, endless and distant. Worlds filled with light, civilizations rising and falling like waves. And a message: we came long ago. We watched. We waited now. You are ready? Mira stumbled back, gripping the railing. Did you see that too? Jonas nodded, sweating. It spoke. Without speaking, Liam steadied himself. His voice was calm, but his hands trembled slightly. This is a form of communication beyond speech. It's sharing thought, meaning. The sphere slowly lowered, drifting back toward the water, but before it touched the surface, the crystal inside flickered, then projected a holographic image in the air. A figure appeared, tall, graceful, not human, but not frightening. Smooth white skin like polished stone, eyes that glowed softly like distant moons. It stood in silence, looking at them. Mira whispered, "Is it alive? Or just an image?" Liam watched carefully. A memory. A message left behind. Something recorded long ago. The holographic being raised a hand, not threatening, more like greeting. Then a voice formed in their minds, gentle and clear. We traveled the stars. We searched for life. We found your world when your kind was young. We waited for your minds to open. The ocean protected our vessel. Now you stand at the edge of your next journey. Peace is possible, but so is war. Your choice will shape what comes. The image vanished. The sphere closed. The glow dimmed, and it sank slowly back beneath the waves. Silence filled the deck. Jonas exhaled shakily. So to what now? Do we report everything? Do we hide it? Do we stay here until the fleet arrives? Liam stared out at the glittering sea. The world felt different now. Larger, wider, more mysterious. We don't have much time, he said. If the fleet arrives first, they'll take control. We must learn as much as we can before they get here. Mira nodded slowly. We go back to the ship in the trench. Jonas hesitated. That place could be dangerous. We lost the drone. What if? Liam interrupted quietly. Everything has risk. But knowledge is worth it. The decision was made. They prepared the deep-sea submersible for a human descent. No remote drones, no cables. Just the three of them. As the sun rose higher, the ocean glowed softly where the sphere had been. A silent reminder that humanity had crossed a line they could never return from. The journey into the unknown had just begun. The sky was bright, but the hearts of the three scientists were heavy. The ocean around the Aurora Deep looked peaceful on the surface, yet beneath it was a sleeping giant, an alien spaceship resting in the cold and dark. And now another great pressure was rising toward them, the military fleet rushing to take control. Time was running out. Liam, Mira, and Jonas stood near the submersible. The small vessel named Blue Echo was built for deep dives, but never for something like this. Still, they had no choice. Jonas checked the controls one last time. His hands were steady, but the tightness in his shoulders showed his fear. Once we go down, he said, we might lose communication with the surface. Mira nodded, fastening her harness. Then we trust each other. Liam took a slow breath. We go in, we learn what we can. We come back before the fleet reaches us. The crew on deck watched in silence. Nobody spoke a word of doubt. Everyone felt the importance of this moment. The submersible was lowered into the waves. Water closed around them. The sunlight faded into blue, then dark blue, then pure black. Inside, only the control screens and soft cabin lights gave a sense of space. Jonas piloted, his eyes sharp. Depth 1,000 meters. 4,000. 6,000. The pressure outside could crush metal like paper. But the submersible held strong. Mira stared out the viewport. Look, there. Shapes moved in the dark, small, shimmering organisms glowing pale green and silver. It was beautiful, like falling stars underwater. Liam whispered, life adapts everywhere, even in darkness. Soon, the sonar picked up the massive shape again. The alien ship. It rose from the trench floor like a mountain of metal, silent and eternal. The closer they came, the more details appeared, smooth curves, flowing patterns along the hull, and faint blue light that looked like veins. The ship was not just built. It was grown. Jonas guided the submersible toward the entrance tunnel the drone found earlier. It's still open, he said quietly, as if it's waiting. The sub entered the tunnel. Immediately, the interior walls began to glow, lighting the way ahead. Mira inhaled sharply. It's reacting to us again. Liam studied the light. This ship recognizes life. They reached a chamber large enough for the submersible to stop. A platform extended beneath them, smooth, metallic, and strangely dry, though it was underwater. Jonas frowned. How is that possible? They exited the sub slowly. The air inside the alien chamber was breathable, thin but safe, no suits needed. Mira touched the wall. It felt warm. Liam turned slowly, absorbing every detail. This place is alive. A soft hum filled the chamber, rising and falling like a heartbeat. Then lights formed along the floor, creating a path leading deeper inside. The ship was giving them a direction. Should we follow? Jonas asked. Liam nodded. We came here for answers, and it wants to give them. They walked carefully. Their footsteps echoed, though the walls seemed soft, almost organic. The path led to a circular room. In the center was a pedestal holding another crystal, similar to the one inside the floating sphere above, but larger. The crystal pulsed slowly, waiting. Mira stepped forward. This must be the core, a memory, or intelligence system. Jonas shook his head. What if it controls the ship? Touching it might activate something we can't stop. Liam studied the crystal. The pulsing glow matched a rhythm they had already seen earlier. It's communication, he said softly. It wants to show us something. Before Jonas could protest, Mira reached out. Her fingertips touched the surface. A burst of light filled the room, but not blinding. Instead, the light unfolded into vision. The three scientists were no longer standing in a quiet alien chamber. Instead, they saw another world, projected around them like reality. A planet with twin suns. Tall silver cities that floated over oceans of violet water. Beings tall and graceful walked among them, the same kind of figure they saw in the sphere's hologram, a peaceful civilization, advanced, curious, kind. Then the vision shifted. Great darkness came from the stars, something like a storm but alive. It consumed worlds, swallowed cities, devoured light. The alien civilization fled across the galaxy, seeking safe worlds. One of those worlds was Earth. The vision changed again. Early Earth. Volcanoes. Oceans forming. No human life yet. Only simple cells growing slowly in the sea. The alien travelers did not interfere directly. They only observed, learned, waited for Earth's life to grow. They left a ship beneath the ocean, the one Liam's team had found, as a message for the future. The voice returned, quiet and patient. We watched. We did not guide. You grew by your own strength. Now you stand at the edge of your next step, but the dark will come again. Not now, but one day. And when it comes, your world must be ready. The light faded. The room was quiet again. Mira's eyes were wet. They didn't come to rule us. They came to warn us. Jonas leaned against the wall, overwhelmed. And we're just beginning to understand technology. We're not ready for something that can destroy stars. Liam stared at the crystal. His voice was steady but full of weight. This ship is not a weapon. It is knowledge. It is history. It is a message, Mira nodded. A message that humanity must unite. Or we will fall when the darkness comes. Jonas looked up. But how do we convince the world? The military will arrive. They'll try to claim everything. They'll bury the truth. Liam closed his eyes. He already knew the answer. We don't need to convince the world yet, he said. We just need to get out alive and take the knowledge with us. But before they could move, an alarm sounded through the ship, deep and loud. The alien vessel had detected approaching threats. The military fleet was close. The time was gone. A deep echoing sound rippled through the alien ship, low, steady, and urgent. It was not loud, but it carried meaning, like a warning from something ancient. Jonas stiffened. That's an alert tone. The ship is reacting to something outside. Mira checked her portable scanner, though it was nearly useless here. The military fleet must be near the trench already. Liam looked toward the entrance tunnel. The calm, glowing pathway now pulsed faster, as if urging them to move. We need to leave. If the fleet finds us inside, they'll take us into custody. Everything we've seen will be lost or classified. Jonas nodded quickly. And if they try to force open the ship, who knows what the ship will do in response? Their footsteps echoed as they hurried back along the glowing corridor. But the lights had changed. The soft blue glow had become brighter, sharper. The walls no longer felt warm, they felt awake, as though the ship itself understood danger was coming. They reached the chamber where the submersible waited, except the platform was no longer calm and still. The air shimmered like heat waves, and the hum in the chamber had risen to a heartbeat rhythm. The ship is powering something, Mira whispered, eyes wide. Jonas climbed into the submersible quickly. We don't have time to find out what. Let's go. The hatch sealed shut. The sub detached from the platform and sank slightly into the chamber's pool before moving back through the entrance tunnel. As they moved out into the open trench, the submersible's sonar picked up multiple objects moving above. Jonas's voice went tight. Signal confirms. They're here. 3 destroyer ships, 1 large carrier, and several Navy drones hovered at the surface. Helicopters circled. Searchlights flashed across the waves. Mira stared at the monitor. They came fast. Too fast. Someone leaked the signal, Jonas muttered darkly. HQ must have told them everything. Probably didn't trust civilians with something like this. Liam didn't respond. He was thinking, not just about escaping, but about what they must do next. As they rose higher, the submersible radio crackled. An official voice broke through. Aurora Deep Crew, identify yourselves. You are ordered to surface immediately. Do not deviate. Do not transmit. Comply. Jonas looked at Liam. Orders? Liam's eyes were calm. We surface, but we don't surrender the knowledge. The sub broke the surface. The ocean wind hit them in a cold wave of reality. Helicopters hovered overhead. Armed boats surrounded the Aurora Deep. Soldiers had already boarded the research vessel. The crew was forced to line up on deck. A stern officer stood waiting. He had no warmth in his eyes. He called out, Dr. Liam Carter, Mira, Jonas, step off the sub. Slowly. They obeyed. The officer looked at Liam first. You discovered something under this location. You will hand over all data, recordings, equipment, and samples. This is now classified under National Defense Authority. Mira clenched her jaw. This discovery is not a weapon. It's a message. The officer didn't blink. And now it's property of the state. Jonas whispered under his breath. Here we go. Liam kept his voice measured. No country can claim this alone. This is bigger than borders, bigger than politics. The officer stepped closer. This is not a debate. The ocean floor, the research data, the ship. He leaned in. Are mine now. Mira's eyes burned with anger. You can't just steal the truth. The officer raised a hand. Soldiers moved forward. But before they could separate the scientists, the ocean began to glow. Everyone froze. The light rose from deep below, brightening fast. One of the soldiers pointed. Sir, something is coming up. The water bulged, then burst upward in a column of glowing blue. The sphere emerged again, but this time it was larger. The crystal inside pulsed like a living heartbeat. The air vibrated with its presence. It hovered above the water, facing the ships, the soldiers, the humans. The officer stepped back, startled. What is that? The sphere responded, not with words, but with vision. Images flashed into every human mind around. Earth seen from space, small and fragile. Humanity fighting itself, wars, borders, hatred. A dark shape in the stars approaching far in the future. And Earth burning if humanity stayed divided. The soldiers staggered. The officer clutched his head. Then the vision changed. Humanity standing united. Cities powered by clean energy. Space travel. Earth strong, peaceful, reaching the stars. Humans and other beings learning together. The sphere was showing two futures. One of war. One of hope. The sphere dimmed. The vision stopped. Silence returned to the waves. Everyone on deck stood frozen. No one could speak. Finally, Liam stepped forward. His voice was quiet, but it carried over the water with certainty. This is not just a discovery. It's a choice. He looked at the officer. We can become something greater, or we can destroy ourselves trying to control what we don't understand. Mira nodded, her voice steady. They didn't come to rule us. They came to warn us, Jonas added softly. And they're watching how we handle this moment. The officer looked shaken, but not convinced. Fear flickered in his eyes, fear of losing power, fear of the unknown. He turned sharply. Seize the sphere. Prepare containment units. The soldiers hesitated. They had seen the vision too. They knew this was wrong. None of them moved. The officer shouted louder. That's an order. Still no one obeyed. Liam spoke gently. This is the moment the message was meant for. The officer lowered his hand slowly, breath shaky. The world had changed too fast for him to control it, for all of them. The sphere slowly lowered back into the water. It did not sink this time. Instead, it floated beside the ship, waiting, watching, as if asking, what will humanity choose? The ocean was silent again, but the silence felt different. Heavy, charged. Every person on the ships had seen the visions. Every soldier, every scientist, even the officers. The future was no longer an idea. It was something they had felt. Liam looked around. Faces were pale, confused, frightened, hopeful, but they were all changed. The officer who had demanded control now stood stiff, his jaw tight. He looked at Liam not with anger now, but with uncertainty. "What do we do?" the officer asked quietly. The question was simple, but behind it was fear. Fear of choosing wrong. Liam took a slow breath. "We must document everything. Open research. No secrets. The world deserves to know." The officer shook his head. "If we tell the world, chaos will come. Governments will panic. Everyone will want the technology." Mira stepped forward. "Truth causes chaos?" "Yes, but hiding the truth causes wars." Jonas nodded. "We can't protect the world by lying to it." Another ship radio opened suddenly. A commander's voice crackled through. "Fleet command to surface units. Secure the anomaly. Detain research crew. Use force if needed." The officer flinched. That was his command. Everyone stared at him. The officer closed his eyes. He had seen the burning earth in the vision. He could not command that future. He raised the radio to his mouth. His hand shook. "Fleet command. This is Captain Hale. Situation has changed. I recommend immediate hold and full scientific review. No aggressive action." A long silence followed. Then Fleet Command replied, voice cold and sharp. "Captain Hale, obey direct orders. Detain all civilians and secure the object. This is not a debate." The soldiers looked between Hale and Liam. Hale swallowed hard. His voice was calmer now, more human. "Negative. I will not escalate. I repeat, I will not attack." The command did not respond this time, but the silence meant something dangerous. They were now acting without permission. They were now alone. The sphere continued to hover beside the ship, calm and silent, almost like it was listening. Liam stepped toward it slowly, hands open. "You showed us two futures. One of unity, one of destruction. Why now? Why reveal this now?" No voice replied, but the sphere pulsed once. Mira understood first. "Because humanity has reached a turning point. Enough technology to build a future, or destroy itself." Jonas nodded slowly. "It didn't want to interfere before, but now we are close to something big." Hale crossed his arms. "Close to what?" The sky rumbled, not from the weather, but from engines. Everyone looked up. A dark shape streaked across the clouds, a jet, fast and low. Then another. And another. They were heading toward the fleet. Reinforcements. Hale's face hardened. "They sent air support. They'll surround the area. They might try to take the sphere by force." Liam's voice stayed calm. "We need to move before they arrive." Mira nodded. "We need to bring the sphere back to the alien ship. It belongs there. And we need to learn more, quickly." Jonas stared. "Bring it back? How?" "It moves on its own." As if hearing him, the sphere floated closer, hovering above the Aurora deep like it was ready to follow them. Liam nodded. "It understands our intention." Hale looked at his men. "Lower all hostility. No weapons raised. Let the scientists lead." For the first time, soldiers and researchers stood on the same side. They boarded the submersible again. Hale hesitated, then stepped forward. "I'm coming too," he said. "If I'm going to disobey orders, I should understand why." Jonas shrugged. "Welcome to the team, Captain." The sphere followed the submersible into the water. The soldiers left behind on the ship watched in awe, unsure if they had just witnessed the beginning of peace or the beginning of a war greater than any before. The descent felt different this time, not just dark, not just mysterious, but purposeful. The sphere drifted beside them as they returned to the alien ship. The trench glowed faintly like welcoming light. The ship's hull shimmered when the sphere approached, symbols lighting up across its surface. Mira whispered, "It recognizes the sphere as part of itself." The tunnel lit up again. The path opened. They entered the interior chamber once more, but now the ship felt more awake. Lights pulsed in slow waves across the walls like a heartbeat. The large crystal core in the center glowed brighter when they stepped closer. Hale's voice was rough. "This ship isn't a relic. It's thinking," Liam nodded. "Not in the way we think, but yes, it remembers. And it reacts." The sphere floated to the center of the room. The larger crystal pulsed rhythmically, matching the sphere's glow. Then the hum in the ship grew deeper, stronger. The light shifted, the air vibrated, and a new hologram formed, clearer, brighter than before. The alien stood before them again, but now its expression was solemn. Its eyes glowed soft silver. It lifted a hand, not in greeting this time, but in warning. The voice came again, echoing in their minds. Time is shorter than you believe. The hologram shifted, showing space, stars scattered like dust. Then the vision zoomed toward a dark shape in the void. Large, shifting, alive. A hunger moving through the galaxy. Mira's hands shook. That's the darkness. The thing that destroyed their world. The voice continued. It sleeps now, but it will wake again. When it does, all worlds must stand together. Alone, no planet survives. Hale exhaled slowly. This is not just about discovering aliens. This is preparation, Jonas whispered. And we're behind. Very behind. Liam looked at the crystal. His expression was steady, strong. Then we learn, and we teach, and we prepare the world. The hologram faded. The chamber went silent again, but the meaning stayed. Mira turned to the others. There is no turning back anymore. Hale nodded. We will have to face the world. Governments, nations, fear, power struggles. Jonas sighed. Humanity is about to change whether we want it to or not. Liam placed his hand on the glowing crystal surface. Our choice now decides the future of Earth. The ship pulsed in answer. News was never meant to stay quiet. Even though Captain Hale sent messages to delay the military, even though Liam and his team asked the crew to stay silent, and even though the soldiers had agreed to keep what they saw secret, something still leaked. One of the drone operators on a distant support ship had recorded the sphere rising from the ocean, the glowing light, the visions, the submersible diving with soldiers standing aside. He uploaded the video to a private chat. Within 3 hours, it spread across the internet. Within 6 hours, the world saw it. News channels replayed the footage endlessly. Alien object detected in the Pacific Ocean. Scientists and military appear to cooperate with unknown entity. Is humanity no longer alone? Social media exploded. Some people were excited. Some were terrified. Some denied everything. Some prayed. Some protested. Crowds gathered outside government buildings demanding answers. Religious groups called it a sign. Conspiracy theories multiplied like wildfire. And the governments? They panicked. While the world argued, Liam, Mira, Jonas, and Captain Hale remained deep in the alien ship. The sphere hovered beside them, like a guardian or translator. The large crystal core pulsed slowly again, like a heartbeat. Mira stared at the hologram projection area. We saw what will come. That darkness. That thing. Something big enough to destroy entire civilizations. Jonas paced slowly, hands on his head. We're trying to prepare Earth for an enemy we don't even understand. And right now, humans can't even agree on sharing water. Hale leaned against the wall, exhausted. The fleet will receive new orders soon. Hard orders. When the world sees panic, governments choose control. Liam nodded. They'll try to take the ship, study it, weaponize it. Mira looked up sharply. Weaponize knowledge meant to save everyone. Jonas whispered, Humanity always reaches for the trigger first. The sphere pulsed lightly, as if reacting to their fear. The warm tone in the room shifted to a gentle, calming rhythm. It was almost like the ship understood emotion. Liam approached the central crystal again. Show us more, he said softly. Show us what we need to do. The crystal brightened. This time the vision was not of aliens or war, or the dark creature in the stars. It was Earth. Earth now, today. Cities across continents, oceans, forests, people, technology. Then glowing lines appeared, connections, energy grids, communication networks, transportation routes, and among them gaps, weaknesses. Mira studied it carefully. It's showing where humanity is vulnerable, systems that will fail during crisis, places we need to strengthen. Jonas nodded. It's giving us a blueprint. Not technology, but guidance. Liam breathed out slowly. This ship is not here to fight for us. They want us to be strong on our own. Captain Hale stepped forward. If we share this data openly with the world, some nations will use it to help. Some will use it to gain advantage. Liam nodded. Yes, which is why the first step is trust. Hale sighed. Trust is harder to build than spaceships. Above the ocean, chaos was growing. 5 countries declared the discovery to be a national threat. 3 others called it a blessing. World leaders scheduled emergency meetings. Military fleets from different nations began to move toward the Pacific, and everyone wanted control. No one wanted to share. The world was splitting into two futures. The very two futures the sphere had shown. The scientists had to make a decision. Mira spoke first. If we stay here and do nothing, governments will start fighting. The ocean will become a battlefield. Someone will try to bomb this ship. Jonas looked at the glowing walls. If they do that, we don't know how the ship will react. It could defend itself, and that could start a war. Hale clenched his fists. So we act first. Liam turned to him. Yes, we go back to the surface. We speak publicly, no secrecy, no government control, no suppression. Hale exhaled slowly. We're putting our careers, our lives, and probably our freedom at risk. Liam placed a hand on the crystal once more. If we don't, we lose something much bigger. The crystal pulsed once, warmly, like approval. The sphere drifted closer, hovering above them, waiting. Hale nodded once. Then let's go. The group returned to the submersible. The sphere followed them. The alien ship glowed softly behind them. Not shutting down, not hiding, just watching. As they rose through the dark ocean, the water shimmered with particles of glowing light. Not dangerous, just beautiful, like the ship was saying goodbye. When the sub reached the surface, the world above was no longer calm. Warships surrounded them. Helicopters circled. Drones hovered. News cameras pointed. Entire nations watched live. Dozens of languages shouted through radio channels. Translators scrambling to keep up. Arguments, demands, threats. Liam took a slow breath. This was the moment. The hatch opened. The scientists climbed onto the deck of the Aurora Deep once more. The sphere rose from the water behind them, glowing softly. The entire world froze. Liam stepped forward to the camera drones hovering overhead. He did not shout. He did not panic. His voice was calm and clear. My name is Dr. Liam Carter. We are not alone in the universe, and we were never meant to be. Silence. The ship beneath us contains knowledge, not weapons. It carries a message of cooperation, not control. We stand today at a choice. We can face the stars together, or fall apart alone. Hale stood beside him. Mira stood beside him. Jonas stood beside him. The sphere hovered above them like a silver-blue star. Liam continued, We will share everything we learned. With everyone. No secrets. No borders. No armies claiming ownership. Humanity moves forward together, or not at all. The wind was silent. The world was listening. The future was listening. The world held its breath. Millions watched the live broadcast on phones, TVs, giant screens, and crowded city plazas. People stopped in cafes, on buses, in schools and airports. For the first time in human history, everyone listened to the same words at the same time. The ocean wind blew softly across the deck of the Aurora Deep. The sphere hovered silently beside Liam, Mira, Jonas, and Captain Hale. It did not shine brightly or make dramatic gestures. It simply existed, quiet and patient, like it trusted humanity to decide. The first response came from a world leader on the international broadcast line. A voice, calm and old, spoke, If what you say is true, then this is not just the discovery of the century. It is the discovery of our purpose. Another leader's voice followed, louder, sharper. We cannot blindly trust unknown alien technology. The safety of our nations must come first. Immediately arguing began, live, public, undeniable. Some demanded control. Some demanded cooperation. Some demanded silence. The entire world was split, right there in front of everyone. Mira stepped forward to the microphone. Her voice shook, but she did not look away. Fear is normal. We felt it too. But fear is not a plan. Fear does not build the future. Fear only destroys. Jonas lifted a case, the one holding the data they collected in the alien ship. He opened it and placed it on the deck so the cameras could see the glowing holographic images inside. This is not a weapon, Jonas said. It's history. It's knowledge. It's instructions for how to avoid disaster, not cause it. A silence followed. Then Captain Hale stepped forward. His uniform symbolized authority, order, power. But his words were simple. I am a soldier. I have followed orders all my life. But today, I choose humanity first. That single sentence shook governments around the world. Some soldiers watching dropped their weapons. Some citizens cried. Some leaders sat in silence, realizing power was slipping out of their grasp. The officer who once tried to seize control now stood beside the scientists. Symbol, a shift, a beginning. But not everyone accepted it. A loud roar echoed. Overhead, jets fast close. Jonas's eyes shot upward. They came anyway. The jets flew in formation, circling the fleet. They were not here to attack. Not yet. But it was a threat. A reminder. Not all of humanity had chosen peace. The sphere floated higher, reacting to the tension. Its light grew brighter. Not aggressive, just present. The ship captains on the water watched, unsure if firing now would bring the end of everything, and then Liam raised his hand slowly. He did not shout. He did not command. He simply spoke. We don't fight. Not now, not ever. That is the message. The sphere pulsed once, soft, gentle. The jets slowed their pass. No missiles fired. The ocean remained calm. People realized something. No matter how powerful the technology in the alien ship was, it refused violence. The sphere, the ship below it, did not defend itself with force. It defended itself with truth. The ship had waited thousands, maybe millions of years. It could wait a little longer for humanity to choose. 2 days passed. Nations argued. News channels debated. Some governments tried to send submarines to seize the ship. But when they approached the silent trench, something happened. Their instruments shut down. Engines slowed, no damage. No attack, just a simple message, not yet. The ship would not allow force, only open hearts, only open minds. Slowly, very slowly, things began to change. Scientists from different countries arrived. Not as spies, but as partners. Engineers came to study the energy flows in communication. Signals doctors came to understand. Life support and atmospheric composition. Linguists came to study the symbols. For the first time in history, the world worked together on something that was not war. Mira smiled as she recorded data. This is what they wanted, cooperation, learning. Jonas nodded. We're building a research coalition, not a military one. Hale stood guard, not to protect the ship from people, but to protect people from themselves. Liam worked in the heart of the alien chamber, translating and documenting everything they learned. Not to lock it away, but to share it freely. Every discovery was made public. Open access. No patents, no ownership. The ship taught them slowly, in gentle pulses of light and memory, how to build cleaner energy systems, how to grow food more sustainably, how to prevent resource wars, how to heal the planet before it's too late. The warnings about the dark creature in the stars remained, but they were no longer just a threat. They were a goal, a shared purpose, a future challenge. Humanity would one day face, but not today. Today was for growing, building, becoming. Better. Months passed. The alien ship in the ocean trench became known worldwide as the Beacon, not just because it glowed, but because it guided humanity towards something greater. Schools taught about the Beacon. Leaders met not for war, but for planning. Nations shared knowledge instead of secrets, and slowly, quietly, humanity began to change. Not perfect, not without conflict, not without struggle, but different, better. They had seen what could come, the burning earth. They had seen what could be, the united earth, and now, at last, they knew which path to walk. One evening, Liam stood at the edge of the research vessel looking at the quiet waves. Mira joined him, smiling softly. Do you think the aliens are still out there, watching us? Liam looked up at the stars. Yes, he said. But now, they are waiting for us. Jonas leaned on the railing. Do you think we'll be ready when the darkness returns? Liam smiled, not with naivety, but with certainty. We will be. Because this time, no one will face it alone. High above, the stars shimmered. The universe was wide, full of danger, full of wonder, and humanity had taken its first true step into it, together.